Okay. Got it? Wow, this is the first person I get introduced. I do not write things down because I just don't. So, Akur. Wow. Love the Ajack family. And I was so happy to get her on my advisory. I've known her forever. And I've really watched her develop into this amazing, self-confident person who takes charge and does her work in a very mechanical way, gets her work done. She takes care of herself. She does what she thinks is right. And I'm just so proud of her. I'm proud that this is what collegiate is fostering because she stands out. So have a great time.
Courage is the most important of all the virtues because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. This quote is by Maya Angelou. I chose this as the theme of my ME project because in middle school, I've had a lot of personal experiences where I had to have courage in order to continue and grow to overcome situations I thought I'd never get through. Nobody is ever amazing at something the first time they do it. What matters is that they have enough courage to get back up and start over again. At the beginning of 5th grade, I was introduced to the sport cross country. I was told I'd excel at it because of my long legs. During the spring of 5th grade, I signed up for it and enjoyed it. The practices with Miss Prince were fun. We had practiced jumping hurdles, ran up and down the staircase near the lunchroom, and I'd practiced racing my friends on the field. I remember running laps in the Cherokee neighborhood during the spring when it was warm and everything was blooming. After our practices, we'd play games like sharks and minnows, tag, and capture the flag. I loved cross country until we had to have a meet. For the race, I went to Panera and got a smoothie because I didn't want to run on an empty stomach. Once we got to the parking lot, it was full. I watched other kids on my team run, and they did well and made it seem easy. When I got to the start of the race line, I got butterflies in my stomach, and I could feel the adrenaline streaming through my body. I wasn't expecting the race to be very long, so I started sprinting, thinking I'd be able to hold the same pace. I ran out of breath and started to fall behind a few minutes after we started running. When I tried to keep running, my legs felt like jello, and it felt like gnats were poking my lungs every time I inhaled. I started to give up and thought about walking until the end of the race, but I thought about how embarrassing it would be if I came in last, out of breath, and miserable. I continued a half running, half walking pace throughout the race. It felt like the path was getting longer and longer, and I was on the verge of tears because my body ached so much. I started to see the finish line and started getting my confidence back. I used all the stamina I had left in my body to push through and finish strong. After the race, I told myself I'd never put myself through that again. During the end of 6th grade, I started to pick up running again. In the mornings on the weekend, I'd jog around my neighborhood when everything was peaceful and quiet. I realized that I still liked running and wanted to keep doing it. I continued running throughout my neighborhood for 6th, 7th, and now 8th grade. But now I do it more for myself instead of doing it competitively. I can see how far I've come from when I first got into running and now. I've improved a lot. I learned how to pace myself, have an open mindset while running, and I'm very glad I had enough courage to keep going even when I didn't want to. It makes me happy, and I know that I can rely on it whenever I want to clear my head and feel free. Even though the first time I tried cross country it wasn't amazing, I still had enough courage to try again and keep practicing until I reached the place I wanted to be. During 2020, COVID was at its worst, and everyone was scared to leave their homes. Our teachers informed us that we'd be taking a 2-week break from school. The 2-week break kept getting longer and longer until we were told we'd be spending the rest of the year online. The online classes I took were awful, and I never felt like I was really learning anything. Although I had hoped COVID would die down before the summer started, it got closer and closer to the end of the school year, and it seemed to get worse. One of the most miserable summers I had was the summer of 2020. I couldn't see my friends, travel, or go to my favorite stores. They were all closed down. As time went on, I began to feel lonely and miss seeing my friends and going to the places I loved. In order to get through the summer, one of the things that helped me was FaceTiming my friends. There was a time we would talk for hours on end to each other, only stopping when our phones died or our parents told us to get off the phone. I'd call one of my friends, Molly, and we'd have fashion shows, paint, or draw. Our fashion shows were always my favorite part of our FaceTime calls. We'd have a random event and beg our siblings to judge and tell us who had the best outfit. Even though I had a lot of fun calling her, it felt like she was the only person I talked to, and my other friendships were starting to end. In the middle of 6th grade, I went back in person and remember thinking, even though we were in mass, everyone looked so much different from when I saw them last year. It felt awkward trying to start conversations with people I hadn't talked to since we went on our break in 5th grade. I remember we had to have assigned tables to help with contact tracing, and I was seated with a group of people I didn't know very well, and some of my friends. I was seated with a group of people I didn't know very well and hadn't talked to. I still tried to start a conversation with them and made small talk. Some of my friendships were restored, and I even made some new ones. I'm glad I had enough courage to make small talk with people, even if it was awkward, because I was able to make friendships I'm very grateful for. During 5th and 6th grade, I used to hate going to math class. I never understood the things we were learning, and seeing all my friends understand it so easily made me embarrassed to ask questions. When we moved from online classes to in-person in the middle of 6th grade, I saw how much I fell behind. I was certain I could catch up on my own, but my tests and quiz grades showed I clearly couldn't. In 6th grade, we were learning about ratios. I was trying to do my best to pay attention and have a good understanding about it, but when it was time to do a worksheet on ratios individually, I was frustrated because I couldn't remember anything we just worked on. I looked around and saw that everyone else was able to do the worksheet and understood it. After noticing this, I was too embarrassed to get up and ask for help. The CLA program has helped me a lot with not just math, but online classes. I love that when I went to CLA for study hall, Ms. Yeno would go up to me and help me without having to ask for it. I felt more comfortable in her classroom because I know other people had a similar problem. Before math tests and quizzes, Ms. Yeno always took the time to go over the material and gave me practice problems to help me study and have a better understanding of the topic. After I had help from her, I started to see better outcomes on my tests and quiz scores and started to realize it wasn't embarrassing to ask for help. I'm very happy she encouraged me to ask for help and not be embarrassed about it. Now, when I have a quiz, I don't feel worried because I've had enough time to review the material outside of class. I'm still in CLA, and Ms. Steenrod has helped me feel a lot less stressed about upcoming tests and quizzes because I know I can ask her for help if I feel like I need to review something. Ms. Steenrod has also helped me take time on my quizzes. I used to rush through them to get it done and out of the way, but that has allowed room for simple mistakes I could have caught or avoided if I took my time. Now, I take the time to read through my answers and not make stupid mistakes. She helped me find enough courage to ask for help and not be embarrassed about it. In 6th grade, I wanted nothing more than to blend in with the rest of my grade. I used to feel like a misfit because of my skin, so I tried to make up for it by liking some of the things my friends liked or try to like the same music they did. For a short time, I was content with it because that's what I wanted, until I noticed I started to lose sight of myself and the things I enjoyed doing. I felt like a clone of everyone else and nothing made me special. Near the beginning of 7th grade, I started to realize I didn't like living like that, and I wanted to be my own person. I started to explore myself more and try to spend more time alone, experiment with the things I liked and didn't like. I started going running more often, and I started to go running for more often to have an opportunity to be alone and alone with my thoughts and reflect. I've gotten into the habit of doing things that make me happy and started to care less about what others think about it. I remember one of the runs I went on when the sun was setting. I was listening to one of my favorite songs and I truly felt happy. I was thinking about how peaceful it was, not having anything to worry about except for the pathway in front of me, how pretty the sunset was, pink, orange, and purple hue, and how I got a break from everything. When I'm alone, I have a better mindset and I feel like I can be myself without worrying about anyone judging me. In 7th and 8th grade, I found a balance between being alone and being with my friends. I haven't lost sight of myself when I'm with the friends I have now. I no longer feel like I have to change the way I act or lie about the things I like in order to fit in, and if I do, I know I shouldn't put myself in that environment. I've learned that getting to know myself better and spending time alone is important and one of the main reasons why I am who I am today. I'm proud of myself for having enough courage to take a step back from everything and think about who I am. I know I don't appreciate my mom every day, but she deserves so more. She sacrificed her needs and dreams to take care of my brothers and me. She puts herself last and constantly encourages me to do my work and do my best. The reason why I never gave up is because of my mom. When I think about how much she sacrificed in order to make the dreams I have happen, it motivates me to work harder. During the mornings before class start and after school, I always enjoy talking to Ms. Haritani. I know that I can rely on her if I want to feel heard and understood. When I talk to her, I never feel like I'm being judged. Even if she doesn't have a solution for the things I talk to her about, it feels nice to tell somebody. When I was younger, I hated being the only girl. It felt like I didn't have a bond between my brothers, and we didn't really understand each other. As I've gotten older, it's funny how I started to understand them. We don't know everything about each other's lives, but I understand them and they understand me. Even though I don't always show it, I'm very grateful for my brothers and the bond we have now. While writing this speech, I realized this quote paired perfectly with my speech. Sometimes I was frustrated with myself because I couldn't do something in the right way. Instead of quitting or being frustrated, I've been encouraged to keep going, even if I didn't want to, by the people that love and support me. All of the experiences I've talked about and the people I've included have shaped me into the person I am today. Thank you.